Yeah, I mean, we're going to see what we're made of tomorrow night after a big win like we had against Tennessee. We've got to come in and answer the bell and, see if we've got some humility about us, see if we can stay locked in and not let that win get to us. But, we got to bring even better energy. So we've got a really good opportunity ahead of us to be able to get to 3-0 in league, and we got to take care of business at home if you're going to compete for league championships. So Florida's playing well. They look great against LSU. Looked really good against Vanderbilt. It seems like they pulled together, since they've started playing conference games, and they look good. So they're going to give us a lot. Play a little different than they have in the past. A lot more wide open. Guards kind of playing in space. It's just tough with the talent that they've got and the talented guards they've had. So they're going to put some pressure on our defense, but I think our guys are locked in and ready to go, though.
Thank you, Coach. First question to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, don't want to be too simplistic with it, but what are the things that have changed the most since you guys were struggling a few games ago before you started this 3-game winning streak? Which changed the most in that span?
I mean, it helps to make shots, but it always makes the game a little easier. I do think our chemistry is a little better. I think everybody's just kind of pulling for each other. I think our effort on defense has gotten better, although it wasn't bad before that. But I think we're a little more locked in and focused. And it's just an overall, how do you want to say it, just really chemistry and just everybody's just caring about winning right now. And I feel like the ball moves a little better when that happens. Like, nobody's worried about their own shot. We're just worried about getting us a great shot. Everybody's just worried about us getting a stop on defense. I really feel like our culture's gotten really good over these last few weeks here.
Let's go to Tony Tsoukalas for the next question.
Yeah, Nate, how has Javon kind of responded to that bench role coming off the bench? I mean, that's not always easy for players. Just how has he kind of responded to that?
I thought he's been playing great, in the games, to be honest with you. We just trying to get him to lock in on being focused on the defensive side of the ball, and I thought he was pretty good defensively against Tennessee. He was even better offensively. I think his offensive game hasn't ever been really an issue this year. It's more, attention to detail on defense, taking the defensive end as seriously as he takes the offensive end. I thought he was pretty good that way against Tennessee. If he doesn't play the way he plays, we don't win. So, I thought he looked great. He's one of the best players on the floor of that game.
And do you see him staying in that bench role, like moving forward? Is that like a role for him right at the moment, or how do you see that?
You know what? I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I think Primo's been really good, but I think Quinterly's been great. It is nice not to, you kind of been playing back and forth between Quinterly and Herb at the point. It's kind of nice to have one of them on the bench so they're not both starting together. But we're going to start the guys that give us the best chance to win, and that may not be the best 5 players. Our starting 5's usually not been who our closing 5's been. Quinterly was in there at the end of the game. When we were closing the game, I think, that's probably more important, to be honest with you. So like I told you guys before, when I was at Buffalo, we never started our best 5 players. Sometimes our best player was coming off the bench. So I'm not quite sure what we're doing with all that yet. We'll kind of figure it out as we go here.
Okay, let's go to Cecil Hurt next.
Coach, Florida leads the league and is pretty high nationally in field goal percentage, particularly 2-point field goal percentage. How have they changed the way they attack, and have they changed since, unfortunately, Keontae's out of their lineup?
You know what? I don't think they've changed a ton. They've run a few different sets and run some sets less often without Keontae. So I don't think they've changed a ton since Keontae's gone out, but they've changed a lot since last year. I mean, they're playing completely different. They're playing, it's all 4 out, 1 in, what they flow into. They've got a lot of space for their guards. They had, since Coach White had been there, they had been one of the slowest teams in the country, and now this year they're one of the fastest teams in the country. They're kind of right behind us. as far as if you look at SEC teams, there's a couple other SEC teams playing pretty fast. You know, Arkansas is playing fast too, but Florida's right up there. So I think, you know, they've made a concerted effort to pick their pace up. They've given their guards more freedom. They've given their guards more space. It's kind of, you know, Calipari's kind of old school Memphis dribble drive is what it looks like. Which is what I ran at Romulus a lot, and we've got a lot of similarities even to the way we run, and we're not quite doing it the way they're doing it, but they're, you know, they're giving their guys space like we've given our guys space, and they're letting them go a little bit this year. And I think, you know, a guy like Trey Mann looks great in it. You know, obviously Noah Locke shoots it really well. It's great for shooters because the floor space so much and got to help from far off. And Scotty Lewis is a great athlete, so it's better for him to play in space. So I think it's really helped some of those guards that they've got out quite a bit.
All right, we have time for a few more questions. To start with Michael Casagrande.
Just wondering your thoughts on number 36 ranking, the first net rankings out today.
You know what? I just saw that. I mean, it's nice. I'm not sure exactly what that means as far as getting an NCAA bid right now. I mean, we're just trying to get better every game. I think it's obviously better to be at 36 than to be outside of the top 50 or 60, because then you're going to have a hard time playing your way into the tournament. So now that we've got ourselves up to where we should be a tournament team with that kind of a net ranking, we got to continue to put a resume together to where we, you know, get picked to play in a tournament and have a decent seat at it. So I think all the analytics stuff that goes into that, you know, we got to continue to get better on defense. Our defensive efficiency numbers need to continue to get better, and then offensively, you know, we've been a lot better offensively here lately than we were. It helps to make shots, but 36 isn't a bad spot to be. You know, we'll take it for the first time out, and we'll try to work our way up into the top 25 here as we move forward.
Last question to Joey Blackwell. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Coach. Last season, when you benched Petty and took him out for a game, he played some of his best basketball of the season following that game. Of course, now to the same thing this season. Ever since you took him out for a game, he scored 13 points and 17 points. The question itself is short, but maybe a little bit complicated. In your own words, why do you think that is?
Well, you know, he's really talented, and he's a really high IQ player. Sometimes you just got to remind him of, you know, all the little details that matter. And I think when he focuses in on, and his attention to detail gets really zoned in and his focus gets better, he gets really good. Because he's got all of the physical tools. He can shoot it. Like I said, he's got a high IQ. We've gotten him, you know, a lot more skill. He's gotten himself a lot more skill, I should say, off the dribble. You know, he's a good passer. He can rebound the ball. He led us in rebounding last year when he wants. So he's a really good defender because he's athletic and gets locked into scouting reports. He just sometimes he's needed a little bit of a refocus, if you will. And I think he's got that right now. And I mean, me and him have had numerous talks since he's come back. I think his head's in a great spot. I think his mind is where it needs to be. His heart's right where it's got to be with the team. He just wants the team to do great and do whatever he can to help the team win. And he's obviously one of the most talented players in the league when he's playing like that.
All right, thank you, Coach.